It's just good for me to get out and play. I've been trying to work on my singing a little bit, and trying to work on the performance thing where you just really actualize it in the moment, and you're just playing, and you get a little bit more top on your game of just making it happen. Whether I'm at home practicing or on the road playing, it's just all working towards that means to it end up being more of an immediate musician. We started in Florida and went to Europe, and so we just got back just in time to have like a week off before we started this 3-week tour of the West Coast. I have recorded a little bit. I got like 3 songs already recorded, basic tracks that we did. I would definitely want to start on a record soon. We've got another East Coast tour to do after this one, so we're going to be busy, but I want to try to get in the studio and record some stuff. I have a signature Strat of mine that I'm using, and I'm really digging using that. And then I do have a Gibson SG out as well. We worked for a couple years on trying to come up with a fuzz space that was more like the original ones from the 60s. And I'm actually using these. I like them. They're working out good. I don't even use the old ones anymore, really.
Glad y'all could make it out here. This is Chris Maresh on the bass guitar, by the way. Wayne Salzmann on the drums.
Wayne and Chris are both just absolutely remarkable musicians. Everybody's coming from like their own area, and both those guys are, predominantly jazz musicians. It's like a nice pool of versatility.
I played in the Austin Symphony when I first started out. I played with a lot of local bands, local singer-songwriters. I played with Extreme Heat. I currently play with Eliza Gilkison, sometimes Kat Edmondson, David Grissom. There's a music store in Austin called Heart of Texas, and I was like checking out a bass and playing it, and someone tapped me on the shoulder. This is like 1991, and it was Eric, and he says, "Hey, you sound really nice." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, man, it was Eric Johnson, cool, whatever." And so then he called me 6 years later and said, he and Billy, the drummer, were like thinking about bass players, and Eric was like, "I heard this guy in this music store 6 years ago," and they tracked me down. So that was the beginning of that. And so I played on and off with Eric for, I guess, ever since like '97. Playing this music is very complex, a lot of parts, and also we're trying to make it sound bigger than 3 people's. But it's coming together for sure. And it is a band, and like the gelling thing is a big part of it. I use delay, flanger, chorus, distortion, a lot of fuzz, which is really fun. I also have these bass pedals, like organ pedals that I play. For the most part, I use Fender basses, and I've been using Fender amps.
I'm originally from Wisconsin. I grew up and did a lot of playing there, and I did my undergraduate degree at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. And then I moved to Austin about 5 years ago to do my master's degree in jazz studies. First I met Chris, and he and I had done a bunch of playing together with a whole bunch of different artists in Austin. Time came when Eric was looking for a drummer, so Chris recommended me actually, and we got together one time and played, and the rest is history, I guess they say. After I finished my master's at UT Austin, they asked me to join the faculty. I'm going into my 3rd year of teaching at the university. There are definitely positive elements that come out of having this gig. It's something that the school appreciates, having somebody who's nationally and internationally touring on their faculty. Having to deliver 100% every night is something that is challenging in a lot of ways, but it teaches you how to prepare mentally and physically for those things, and that's something that I can then pass on to my students. I am playing DW drums. I just actually signed a deal with DW, which has been a lifelong dream for me. I've been a DW fan for a long time, and I absolutely love their drums. I love the people over there. I've had relationships with them for quite a few years. But yeah, DW drums and hardware and pedals. I'm like DW all the way.
Nowadays, you really can't spend an absorbent budget. And I think it's good though, because I think it's more healthy that way anyhow. It's almost like I'm being forced to become a more spontaneous, immediate musician. There's a real good side to it. That's what most of the magic is anyhow. That special magic that you can't really put your finger on. It's that human spirit thing that kind of gets transferred. And I think that's why you listen to all those old records, and they've never been duplicated, you know, regardless of your musical style. If you listen to the human spirit behind it, think, well, if you have that kind of human spirit in whatever style of music you like, I mean, the reality is it's just explosive because it has that immediate spontaneity to it. Thanks for checking us out, and yeah, just keep plugging in, seeing what we're up to, and hopefully we'll be, you know, wherever you are soon, and we'll just keep on plugging away and trying to make it better and better.